Well, if you guys are big fans of the Japanese wrestling scene, then you're in luck. You guys are in the right channel. So today we're going to be reviewing three events from three different promotions. Well, the third one is not actually a promotion, but I'll get to that. The first one is, of course, as we continue with more with Marigold with the Spring Victory Series. This was day three, of course. Now remember, there is nothing big on this particular match, but however, that event, but we do have, of course, a preliminary match involving the world title that will take place later on at some point. And as you all know, Stardom has begun their annual tournament, the Cinderella Tournament. We are now in day two in the second round. However, this one had a bit of a wrinkle. As you all know, Azusa Inaba has a bye. However, she will pay attention to one particular match, which is the semi-main event, Sayaka Kurara versus Rana Yagami, who will be, in fact, her opponent in the semifinal. That's going to be a very interesting match to look into. And then, of course, our next one is a self-produced show by referee Barb Sasaki. That's right, Barb Sasaki, a referee, produced his own show. And not to mention, he's refereeing the whole bitch up, because that's what referees do. They're cool as hell, but even though they stay out of the background. But this one features many wrestlers involved in death matches. Especially, we do have wrestlers coming from, of course, Stardom, mostly from Neo Genesis and Stars, which is going to be a lot of fun. And not to mention, we do have Rina Yagami, Yamashita taking on Suzuki, and of course Jun Kasai versus El Desperado versus Masada Takeda. So that's going to be a fun match as well. And then, of course, we wrap up our episode with some news updates, only upcoming events, guys, because there's a lot going on and we don't have any developments whatsoever. So, let's get ready for another episode of Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Hey everybody, welcome to Deleted Wrestle Zone, all things that it's pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, TNA, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, J-Rod here. So, if you are new to the channel, welcome. Excuse me, guys. This is a channel where we do a lot of pro wrestling reviews from various promotions, not only here in the United States, but also in Japan, Mexico, Canada, Europe, the UK. Anywhere in the world, pro wrestling is not as big, but it continues to grow. We also, of course, do discussion videos, talk about various topics such as the wrestlers themselves, the promotions, factions, storylines, whatever we want to talk about. We also, of course, do more news updates. If certain information was unable to be on this episode, we can either put it on the next one or on a separate video by itself. We also, of course, do real-time news updates to keep you guys on alert if something has happened in the world of pro wrestling that needs to be addressed ASAP. We also, of course, got the Unagi Sayaka Watch and various other cool wrestling content as well. So if you like what you see, please subscribe to us or click on that subscribe button. You'll be getting a lot of daily reviews and other cool wrestling content as well. But if you like this episode, please give us a like on the like button or a nice comment in the description down below. Now, all introductions have been said. It's time to rock and roll and bring the noise. So, let's begin with our very first review, and this one is from Marigold. Okay, Marigold as they continue with day three of the Spring Victory Series, and it's at Osaka at the 176 box. This happened recently on the 8th of March, but it was not broadcast at Wrestle Universe until the 10th of March. So basically, it's only 2 days late, but nonetheless, it was fine. But anyway, we opened up with singles action. We have Ryoko Sakimura versus Chika Goto. Now, of course, it doesn't take a genius to figure out this match was going to go to Chika Goto, obviously, because Sakimura, as you all know, she's still a rookie learning the ropes. But however, this match ended with, of course, Chika Goto applying the giant swing until, of course, Sakimura had no strength left after that big giant swing. And just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Next up, we have tag team action. We have Flying Penguin teaming up with Rhea Seto to take on Riara and now Ishikawa. Now, I wasn't too sure how this was going to go. I mean, we have seen some great talent from all sides. But, however, this match went in favor to Flying Penguin when she applied a diving body press onto Riara. And just like that, 1, 2, 3, Flying Penguin pick up the win for herself and for her teammate Rhea Seto. Our next match, we have singles action. We have, of course, rookie Yuki Minami taking on the Superfly champion Victoria Yuzuki. Now, of course, many of you would think in some capacity that Victoria Yuzuki would be, of course, winning the match. However, I did notice Minami was able to, of course, has grown up significantly. Now, if you guys remember, she pulled up an upset when she defeated the other Minami, Komomo. Well, this time she almost had that moment where she could have defeated Victoria Yuzuki and hopefully catch an opportunity of the Superfly Championship. But unfortunately, that did not do any good for her because she applied a moonsault onto Minami, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Now, just to be fair, I wouldn't be surprised that if she got this advice from Mayu Iwatani. Remember, before Yuzuki came to Marigold, she was in Stardom, but however, she was part of Stars, and she admired Mayu Iwatani. So I wouldn't be surprised if she asked Mayu if it was okay if she can use the moonsault. So that's my opinion because that's what she's doing. Because I know she did the 3 moonsaults, and that's something I'm sure Io Sky would have done herself. But anyway, a win's a win for Yuzuki. Our next match, we have 6-woman tag team match. We have the members of Dark Revolution, consistent of Megaton, Mitsa Matsui, and Chiaki, taking on Arena Yamanaka, who just made her appearance recently back in February 20th in Korakuen Hall. She teams up with the former United National Champion Miku Ano and the current United National Champion Mai Sakurai. So, however, many of you would think, okay, we've seen how Darkness Revolution operate. They are like not the same as Hate, but they like to find ways to cheat themselves through in order to pick up the win. But however, I have to say this had a very interesting moment. Now, Yamanaka is the first girl we never seen what she can do. Many of you may ask her, she's not part of the roster. Well, I'm sure she will be full time soon because she's currently wrestling with Best Body Japan Pro Wrestling, which is BBBJ. Yeah, so she picked up a very interesting submission. It's almost similar to the Ron Miller special that Robbie Eagle does all the time, but it was effective, and she picked up the win not only for herself but for her teammates. However, during the post match, it seems that she has her sights set possibly on the white belt. I'm not sure if that's the case, but of course, Mai Sakurai is not going to overlook this one way or the other. She will welcome any challenge as possible, so I'm sure she'll be looking forward to it. Our next match, we have Natsumi Shizuki taking on Passion! That's right, Nana Takahashi. Of course, we have seen how much Nana Takahashi likes to bring out the fighting spirit of everybody she faced. And that's exactly who she is. I mean, you would say in some capacity that, of course, Natsumi Shizuki will try to build up a little bit of her fighting spirit, but however, this was not going to fall in her favor because it was Nanane who applied. Like, I'm not sure if I saw this right. It looked more like a Falcon Arrow, but it's not. And I don't know if it was, but anyway, it was effective. And just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. However, during the post-match promo, Nana Takahashi had some words to say, and she talked to Shizuki. I don't know what they said, but I'm sure that Shizuki is well received with the props from a veteran and a legend like Nana Takahashi, who soon will be retiring in May, I believe. So we'll see what happens down the road from there. Now for a main event, we have the other members of Darkness Revolution, Bozilla and Nagisa Nozaki taking on Mirai and our current Marigold World Champion, Utami Ashida. Remember, guys, Bozilla is the number one contender. So you can say this is a preliminary match, and that kind of sets it up. I mean, Bozilla is a strong individual. Mirai doesn't back down from a fight. Neither does Utami Ashida. But Bozilla feels Utami Ashida should be afraid of her, but she's not. She knows what she's up against, and she's not afraid to do so. But unfortunately, she lost the momentum on this match when Bozilla applied the sit down power bomb, and just like that, 1, 2, 3. But however, of course, message was sent by Bozilla to Utami Ashida during the post match comments, but we'll see what happens. So that's going to be interesting to see down the road. We'll let you guys know when this match between Bozilla and Utami Ashida will take place. But for right now, let's end things here and move on with Stardom. Okay, Stardom. As we continue with day 2 of the Cinderella Tournament, this took place recently on the 9th of March in Kiraya. I think it's in Aichi, I believe. Remember, so we only have 3 matches that are part of the second round. However, one particular wrestler received a bye, and that is Azusa Inaba. The reason she had a bye was because there was a draw between Hanako and Aya Sakura. So basically, no one won or lost the match. However, that did gave the opportunity for her to rest up, and but she did have a match, a non Cinderella tournament match. So that's what I can pull up for you. But for right now, let's begin with the first match. Our first match, we have the Cosmic Angels with Aya Sakura, Yuna Mizumori, and Tam Nakano. Yes, folks, Tam Nakano is not officially part of the Stardom roster, but she is signed as a freelancer. So basically, she is allowed to be part of certain events. But they face against stars consisting of Momo Kogo, Saya Ida, and Mayu Iwatani. So don't know what to expect on this one, but however, what was interesting is the power strength between Mizumori and, of course, Ida. So they've been going back and forth on this one, but unfortunately, Ida was the one who overcame it by applying a strong sliding lariat, and just like that, it was over. 1, 2, 3. She picked up the win for her team. However, as you all know, Ida is one half of the tag team champions with Hanan. So it looks like they nominated their next opponents, and that's their own teammates, the Feelers leader, Mayu Iwatani and Momo Kogo. So many of you may ask yourselves that this is a very interesting delight because Momo Kogo has not reached the full potential. I mean, she has not picked up any championship since joining Stardom, but this is a huge opportunity for her. But she will team up with Mayu as the tag team that call themselves Peach Rock. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Our next match, we have Azusa Inaba versus Akira Kurugane. So basically, of course, Azusa Inaba, she doesn't need to worry about because we know she's definitely already automatically involved in the semifinals, but she will wait to her opponent. But I can tell you, this match ended with her applying like a jumping knee strike. And just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Our next match, we have Yuria Him taking on Hanako. Of course, this was going to be a very interesting match because Hanako is showing off what she can do, and she was able to walk away with the win. I'm not sure if she applied like a somewhat of a vertical suplex, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, she picked up the win. But however, you may have noticed Aya Sakura, as you know, was staring down on her. I don't know if Hanako noticed, but remember, Aya Sakura, along with Yuna Mizumori, will challenge for the New Blood Tag Team belts. So we'll see what that leads. Our next match, we have EXV's Ryan Wakasukiyama, Mina Shirakawa, and Maika taking on God's Eyes, consisting of Hina, Tomoka Inaba, Saki Kashima, and Shuri. Now, one thing that was funny in this match, for many of you know, Waka likes to do hip attacks on her opponents, but when she tried it with Shuri was not amused by it. Basically, she's like rubbing it on, then acting all tough, and Waka's like all scared, like she didn't know what to do. But unfortunately, she was not. She was not the one that lost this match. It was Rian who did it with that new move that, of course, Kashima has been applying, like an underhook sneak strike to the face. I was like, very impressive. She did that on Rian, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, Kashima picked up the win. Now, let's jump into our three matches involving the Cinderella Tournament. Our first match, we have Rina versus Tabata. Now, remember, Tabata, she's part of the 3 year experience as well. She is facing against Rina. However, of course, many of you may vote for Rina because she has grown significantly. She had the biggest record as a future champion, and she picked up the win when she applied uh, a double diving knee drop, and just like that, she goes to the semifinals. But she has to find out who will walk in as her opponent on in the semifinals. We have Miyu Amasaki and her sister Hanan. Pretty good match, not to mention. I mean, we know that Amasaki would love nothing the more to surpass Hanan, but as always, Hanan continues to surprise us when she applied a suplex of a kind, and just like that, it was over. So she picked up the win. Now, our semi main event, I think this one's a very important one. Rana Yagami versus Sayaka Kurara. Now, this is not the first time these two have faced off each other, but however, their history dates back when they first debuted back in December of 2023. If you guys remember, they were part of the batch with not only just those two, they had Victoria Yuzuki at the time as well. But however, the real question is who was going to walk out to be Azusa Inaba's opponent. Of course, Azusa Inaba was watching, so was Rina, and so was Hanan. And I think many of us were anticipating how this was going to go. But however, as to our surprise, it was Sayaka Kurara who picked up the win. She did apply a spear, and then later the Tokimeki Falcon Arrow, and just like that, 1, 2, 3. This is the farthest she has gone in her entire Stardom career. If you guys remember, last year she won the first round by a disqualification. Second round, she did not make it through. Now she goes to the semifinals. Now, before I proceed to the main event, I want to point out somebody predicted this on X about the finals is going to be Sayaka Kurara and Rina. We know that Rina would love nothing more to surpass her sister. That's always been the case. But Hanan, as you all know, is the reigning Cinderella champion from last year. But we'll see. But these matches will not take place until the 15th of March. So we're getting there. But as of right now, we'll leave things as it is. But let's move on to our main event. We have Neo Genesis, Suzuki, Azumi, Meisira, and Starlight Kid taking on Hate's Raka, Konami, Natsuko Tora, and Saya Kamitani. Now, of course, as usual, we know that, of course, Hate loves to throw in dirty tactics in order to pick up their wins. As always, we've seen them, but however, this match did not fall in favor for, of course, Hate. Because Starlight Kid picked up the win onto Konami with the roll up, and just like that, it was over. And then during the post match, of course, Konami had some things to say. I don't know what she said, but however, Starlight Kid had some words to say to Kamitani. She said that she will not acknowledge the red belt at its current state because of her, but we'll see how that rolls up as well. But as of right now, we are officially done with Stardom. Let's move on with our last and final review, and this one is the Barb Sasaki produced Crazy Fest. Okay, our final review. This is the Barb Sasaki produced Crazy Fest. Now, those who don't know who he is, he's a Japanese pro wrestling referee. So some of you may question, why is a referee producing a show? Look, guys, I don't know how thing is. We all can agree referees don't normally do these type of things. But however, there are some that they kind of entertain us, like Aubrey Edwards, once in a while Rice Brinberg, whatever we see. However, much of these events, the matches here are all either hardcore death matches, And of course, we have talent from those who participate in those. But however, we do have talent from various promotions like 2AW, um, New Japan, and of course Stardom. So basically, you get the gist. This took place in Korakuen Hall, and this is just a recent show they just did. You can see it on the New Japan On Demand website, so if anybody cares catches it. But let's begin with our first match. We have Yuzaku Ito versus Kaito Ishida. Um, was a normal match, not a straight up death match. But however, Ito gave Ishida with the black mist, and just like that. But however, Ishida was able to walk away with the win when he gave him a German suplex, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Next up, we have the Brahmin brothers, Shu and Kai, taking on Takayuki Oiki and Hiromu Takahashi. Now, many of you may be wondering, this is a real interesting one. It's all about the water. You know, they're splashing water and crap, but if you hit it hard, throw it hard enough to them, like tossing them. And not to mention, Hiromu was dressed up in one of those Speedo type thingies, and wearing goggles like he's going for a swim, and he's barefoot as well. But however, there was a real disgusting moment where like there was mustard all over Yuki's chest, and they shoved Shu's head right in there, kind of like they did with with the Iron Savages. But just like that, uh, it was Hiromu who picked up the win when he rolled a shoe up, and just like that, it was over. 1, 2, 3, done. Our next match, we have a three-way tag team match. We have Takashi Sasaki, uh, Toru Sugiura versus Azami Kodaka and Yuko Miyamoto versus Abdullah Kobayashi and hey, look, it's Hamna. That's right, Tomoaki Hamna himself. So basically, there's a lot of things that happen. Now, there was a female ref that told everybody, get outside the ring because we're about to toss in the middle a barbed wire bat. That's right, a barbed wire bat was used in this match. So basically, it's like whoever wins it, gets it, is going to be the primary holder of using it. But it all went into shenanigans. But unfortunately, this match ended with a moonsault by Miyamoto to Sasaki, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Next up, we have a hardcore street fight between in a three-way match. We have in a trio setting. We have Issei Onitsuka from GLEAT, Daiju um, Wakamatsu, and Hideyoshi Kimatani. They take on Daisuke Sasaki from DDT, and also the leader of Damnation TA, Violento Jack, who's been with Freedoms, and of course Shuji Ishikawa. So this one was a very normal match, but however, this match ended with Ishikawa applying a splash mount onto Kimatani, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, they picked up the win. Now our next match, we have this thing called the Bring a Weapons Falls Count Anywhere match. We have the ladies from Stardom, all of them in this one, except for Zuzu. One team is consistent of all members from Star, with stars consistent of Saida, who's portraying as Captain Stardom. She teams up with Azuki and Mayu Itani. Koguma was there too, but dressed up in a bear outfit, just sitting there. I don't know what she's there for. And then, of course, we got the members of Neo Genesis, consistent of Mei Sita, Azumi, and Starlight Kid. Now, they did not come out with their usual entrance theme as a team, but individuality. The match was pretty fun. There was like this thing, kind of like a stretch thing where you just let go and one person gets hit by it on many occasions and all that. I did hear that Utami Ayashida was there present watching this, and she couldn't stop laughing at Captain Stardom. Yeah, so basically, I don't know if she finds it funny. But unfortunately, this match ended with Mayu applying a moonsault on Azumi, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Now, our next match is a no disqualification TLC match. Zuzu Suzuki taking on Rina Yamashita. So these two ladies are no strangers with each other. We know they have challenged before in death matches in the past. So you probably ask yourself what kind of plunder these ladies are gonna go for. Remember, Zuzu's first love will always be death matches. If you guys never seen her involved, well, you guys missed out. But man, she went all out. But unfortunately, this match ended with, of course, Yamashita applying a splash mountain, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Our main event is a Florence Saint Light gas board extreme three-way death match. We have El Desperado, Masashi Takeda, and of course Jun Kasai. So basically, you know there's going to be a lot of plunder of toys to use in this entire thing. I mean, tubes, barbed wires, all of that. Basically, anything that would make you bleed in any way. But however, it was um, Jun Kasai who picked up the win onto Despy when he applied a power driver on top of some tubes, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. So I have to say it was a fun match. I enjoyed it, so it was pretty cool. So hopefully we get to see it again next year. But for right now, we are done with this. Let's move on with our last and final thing: news updates. So let's begin with some news updates for all of you. Now, just for the record, there is no developments involved and whatsoever. So let's just concentrate on upcoming events. Now, as you know, we're getting closer now to Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling with Mayhem. That is a 2-day event on the 14th and 15th of March. Majority of the matches have been announced for night one. Mike Bennett will take on Alex Zane. That's going to be a fun match. An 8-man tag team match has been announced. Billy Gunn, Mike Rollins, El Reverso, and Bhupin the Gurger. You may remember him, he was with TNA. They take on Rohan Raja. You may have seen him on NXT UK. Rohit Raju, Johnny Swinger, and Raj Singh. So that's going to be a fun one. Of course, we have the GCW Atlantic City updates. As you know, we have the Ashes to Ashes on the 15th. We have Violence is Forever taking on Matt Tremont and Ciclope. And then, of course, the following day on the 16th, for so much fun, the Koga brothers, Acticus and Otis, will take on Mr. Danger and Teriyaki. Ice Ribbon has announced for their upcoming event on the 16th of March in Tokyo Square, number 1408. Misa Kagura versus Masahiro. Akane Fujita and Shigehiro Iri team up. They take on Yappy and Amchan. Then we have the Triangle Ribbon Championship. Coyote no Yonayama, Matsuzawa, and Sumika Yanagawa. Then we have a 6-woman tag match. We have Manami Katsu, Totoru Suzuki, and Yuri. They take on Ibuki Hoshi, Arisa Shinose, and Echika Miyavi. So basically, that's that. And for our main event is for the International Ribbon Tag Team titles. We have Homoku Hoshi and and Makoto taking on Kirari Wakana and Miku Kane. So that's going to be interesting as well. Um, RevPro for the Epic Encounter on the 16th of March. Mercedes Blaze will take on Millie McKenzie. Wrestling Revolver for Goaded that will take place on the 22nd of March. Moose takes on Gringo Loco, first time ever. Major League Wrestling has announced that Cesar Duran will be making his return to his home in LA during Battle Riot, so that's going to be a real interesting moment. Marvelous has announced for 2 more names to participate in their Las Vegas show on the 17th of April. We have Johnny Robbie and Maya World. Irish Promotion Over the Top Wrestling, or we just call it OTT, has announced the Scrapper Mania 9 that will take place on May 3rd at the National Stadium in Dublin, Ireland. So if you guys have been aware that there's a promotion down there, OTT is one of the big promotions down in, not big, but big in the independent setup scene. in Ireland, so you should check it out. And then finally, we have the Prestige Wrestling collaborating again with West Coast Pro and Deadlock Pro Wrestling for a new show that will happen on June 1st, and this one's called United. And this will happen on at the Vermont Hollywood in LA, so that's going to be a lot of fun to watch. So hopefully one day I get to see it, but we'll see how that goes. No announcements yet has been made who will participate, but I'll be announcing it as we go. So as of right now, we are officially done, and let's just call it a day. Well, I hope everybody enjoys this episode. Coming up, as you know, we continue with more with New Japan Cup. We do also have NXT Roadblock. Several matches have been announced. The title versus title between the NXT Women's Championship and the Women's North American titles on the line, and of course the NXT title, the TNA tag team title. So basically, it's going to be a real fun event. So stay tuned for that. I haven't decided yet if there was anything. I'm considering either try to watch the much recent Choco Pro shows. There's two of them. We'll see how things that progress. But as of right now, we'll see how it progress. New Japan and NXT are the top priority. But of right now, I will see you guys in the next DWZ time. Same DWZ channel. I must bid all of you adieu. So, goodbye. And have a nice day.